Hello and welcome to your astrological vibrations for Saturday, March 14th, 2015 by Gaia Blooming. I'm Mimi and our energy mantra for today is I find my balance in my flow. Body, mind, spirit, soul. And today, the big event that we're having today is actually Saturn going retrograde. And not to mention Saturn going retrograde, there's also going to be the intensity of building to this final Uranus-Pluto square, which is happening on Monday. So we're going to feel both those things over this weekend. I want to start with Saturn retrograde. Saturn's going retrograde early in the morning, 8 a.m. Pacific time. And so Saturn has been in Sagittarius since actually December 23rd, 2014, moved in. It's reached almost the top of 4 degrees, almost to 5 degrees, and then it stopped, which I'm a 5-degree Sagittarius, so I was like, can you just move on? But no, it's been there for a while. Now it's going to retrograde. It's going to retrograde out of Sagittarius in June, and then it's going to go all the way back to 28 degrees Scorpio. So those last few degrees of Scorpio, which were pretty intense through like November and December, if you remember the feeling of that time. And then it's going to move direct in August and swiftly move into Sagittarius and move on. So Saturn in Sagittarius, I want to remind you to check out the video Nikki and I did about that. I'll post that in the Gaia Blooming blog. But Saturn in Sagittarius to me is about expansion. And it's about expanding your truth, what you find to be true in the world, expanding your beliefs, and seeing where your beliefs limit you, hold you back from your dreams, from those possibilities, where they hold you back from, you know, the big picture of the world. We all see this tiny little snippet of the world, you know, from our eyes, from our experience. And so Saturn in Sagittarius is actually trying to expand that so we can step up in a new way. And so anytime a planet goes retrograde, it's a great time to turn within and look within. And so instead of these forward-moving lessons, Saturn's always giving us those lessons. It's kind of like, oh, these internal lessons. And so this is giving you an opportunity to look, where are you personally blocked from expansion within? And what's it coming from? Is it coming from jealousy? Is it coming from a belief in lack? Is it coming from, well, this is what my parents taught me, so it has to be true. This is what I learned in school, so it has to be true. I guess that's where Mahalo's blocked. You know, where are you personally blocked? Where are you holding back from expanding into what you can be and expanding into understanding others and their process and allowing others their process? And then going back all the way into Scorpio, Saturn's going to take us into like some of those final things that we're holding on to deep within our psyche. Some of those skeletons in our closet. You know, those uncomfortable feelings of survival. I think a lot of us, me included, don't completely step into our power because of potential past life, you know, burnings or hangings or those kinds of things where we were silenced. And the world is changing. And part of this change that's actually happening, that's helping us break through those past life survival issues, those root chakra survival issues, part of what's helping that is this final Uranus-Pluto square. So Uranus and Pluto, since June of 2012, this is our 7th square. So they've had 6 others. This is the 7th one. And each time, Uranus in Aries is shifting up how we're showing up in the world. It's shifting up our vibrations, shifting up how we move forward, shifting up how we take action. And then Pluto in Capricorn is completely shifting the paradigm. It's shifting the social structure. It's shifting away from this like dominating society that's like, it has to be this way, it has to be this way, and instead the flow is being allowed to come in. Nature is being allowed to come in. It's amazing how it's shifting. So that's part of what's happening within us. So any of this resistance that's happening, any of this anger or pain that's happening within you during Mahalo has a lot to say about this, but any of this pain that's coming up for you with this square, this final square, or Saturn going retrograde, recognize that, you know, these are birthing pains. This is part of the completion of a cycle. Not to mention, speaking of completion, we are also having we're entering eclipse season, and we're having a solar eclipse next Friday. So a little bit less than a week. And it's at that last degree of Pisces, which is the last degree of, or the last sign of the zodiac. So it's all this completion that's happening, completion of these, rebirthing ourselves, becoming who we are, remembering who we are, stepping into who we are. So the other astro today, we have the moon in Capricorn, which the moon in Capricorn is probably going to feel a little bit interesting with Saturn. Saturn rules Capricorn. So with Saturn going retrograde, the moon in Capricorn may not feel as like, I have to get these things done. It might be a nice day to take a break. And the moon in Capricorn is meeting up with Mercury, newly in Pisces, and then Neptune in Pisces. So there's definitely a mystical quality to Capricorn today. So maybe, again, instead of to-dos, Capricorn loves to do, but instead relax and be like, what do you have me do? Maybe it's time for a date with the divine and find your flow. Tune into your dreams. Your dreams may give you those practical steps that you need to take. And speaking of completion, completing the cycles, I pulled the completion card. The puzzle pieces are going into place. The more we step into our unique selves, the more each puzzle piece has its perfect place. And when we do that, it's celebration time. So keep finding your peace, keep finding your flow, tune into you as we move through this astro this weekend. And remember, you're not alone. We're all in this together. And if you're struggling, reach out to somebody who will understand, whether it's your friends at Gaia Blooming or another good friend. You are not alone. Have a beautiful day, and I will see you tomorrow. Namaste.